What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime coming back at you with another video, and in today's video, guys, I am here to bring you all my first impression / review of Twin Star Exorcist. So let's get this started. So, Twin Star Exorcist, my first impressions of this series is that I'll give it a try. Now, I'm not saying that the beginning of this series was bad by any means. If anything, it had a decent start to the introduction to the series, and, it was pretty enjoyable, at least in my opinion. However, I don't really know if this will be something that I'm going to keep reviewing. I'll let you all decide that. We'll see how much support I get on this video. It's just like, this was never an anime that I saw on my spring anime lineup list that, I said, oh, this is going to be awesome. If anything, I was kind of worried about it, because this series, is going to be animated by Studio Pierrot, and we all know how Studio Pierrot tends to be. They can have, like, a really good start, but then later down the line, as episodes come out, the animation quality can start to deteriorate and end up a little quirky, so that's why I'm kind of worried about this. And I don't know, when it comes to the way that Studio Pierrot ends up animating stuff, it could end up hurting the anime series. It really could. And when it comes to the pacing of this first episode, I felt that the pacing was kind of off. Like, it seemed kind of rushed. I don't really know if there are any manga readers out there who have noticed any differences. Like, was there any massive difference compared to the anime and the manga? I know that this series has actually done considerably well in Japan, but I really just want to know, like, if there was anything left out within this first episode, because it did kind of seem like something was missing. So what is this series actually about? So we have it to where we have our main male character named Rakugo, and then our main female character named Bine, or Beanie? I think it's Bine. Now, these two are exorcists living in the human world, and they use the so-called talismans in order to fight off demons. Now, I will say, I do get kind of some sort of Noragami, maybe some Bleach vibes from this series, because we have it to where there's basically, a parallel world to where there are demons casted out. Demons are trying to interact with the human world, and basically that's why we have the exorcist trying to get rid of the so-called demons in order to keep the human world safe. And, that is pretty much the premise of what we got out of this first episode. We have exorcists basically trying to extinguish the demons that are trying to interact with the human world. Now, when it comes to our main male character, Rakugo, pretty much he is your typical shonen type of character. However, he has had a tragic past 2 years ago in the world of Mundo, which is basically the parallel world for where the demons are currently residing at. 2 years ago, he ended up basically facing a tragic incident into which pretty much all of his friends, or people who he ended up caring about, ended up dying, and he was the only survivor. So that is why he doesn't want to become an exorcist at all, or return to the world of Mundo in general, but that is until he ends up meeting a girl named Bine. And Bine ends up getting him into some sort of situation where he basically has to fight for himself in the world of Mundo, and basically show off his exorcist-like powers. Now, I will say, when it comes to the talismans within this episode, they seem sort of interesting. We see them play out as, weapons that can be used against the demons, like, Bine threw one at one of the demons and it made, like, a sort of explosion. And also, the talismans in general can also be used to enhance the exorcist abilities to the point where they literally have armor on themselves, which is pretty interesting. We see Bine's talisman enhancer armor, and we see Rakugo's talisman end up summoning a dragon-like, glove-like sort of hand, and like it's almost like a demon hand. Maybe Rakugo is a demon or some shit. Like, we don't know. We don't know too much about Rakugo. Now, I will say, when it comes to the talismans that are involved within this first episode, we saw Bine's talisman have a white sort of color to it, and then we saw Rakugo's talisman having some sort of black color to it. Now, this could mean that there are probably different colored talismans throughout the series, each having their own specific ability, but also representing the person that they are entirely, maybe. Because when it comes to Binay's talisman, she had a white sort of color to her talisman, which probably represents her pureness, maybe. We still don't know much about her either, but I'm just throwing that out there. And then we also have Rakugo's talisman, which is black, and that is probably representing his tragic, corrupted past. So, as I stated before, we don't really know much about these two characters. We don't really know much about their past and how they ended up becoming exorcists in the first place. So, we're just going to have to wait and see how this series ends up playing out. And judging by the description of this series, it seems that, after, I guess, this first episode, in episode 2, we're going to see Binay and Rakugo end up, making a pact with one another. And apparently, it is said that these two exorcists are fated to marry each other and exorcise demons to the bitter end. So I guess they're going to form some sort of pact which they are called Twin Star Exorcist, hence the name. So yeah, when it comes to this first episode of Twin Star Exorcist, I thought it was pretty decent. It was nothing too spectacular or anything, but it was pretty decent and still enjoyable. So, I'll probably give it the 3-episode treatment, into which I will end up reviewing 3 episodes of this series, and judging by those 3 episodes, I'll just see how much feedback I end up getting within those videos, and judging by those videos, we'll see if anybody wants to keep seeing more reviews of Twin Star Exorcist in the future. So, yeah, pretty entertaining episode. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on what you thought about this episode of Twin Star Exorcist. And, of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you would like to stay up to date with my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Love you all, and I will catch you all in the next one. Sayonara.